everybody, this is John. Welcome to the free video. It is about 10:45 in the morning, so just wanted to, this is a trade that we'd set up in the live room last week, and just kind of following up on it here. So if you look here at the daily chart, there's no signal, right? Okay, if you look at the 195-minute chart, there's really no signal, and in fact, there was a signal here, and it actually lost momentum. All right, so why am I in this trade? Well, at this time frame here is a 78-minute chart, and there was a signal here. Okay, and just remember, the main thing here with this is that whatever the signal, whatever time frame you're on, is what's going to drive the duration of your trade. Okay, the average squeeze lasts 8 to 10 bars. So on a 78-minute chart, once it triggers, we're looking to be in a trade for about 2 trading days, give or take. And so then, based on that, you want targets. And what I was looking at here is that we could come back up and retest its highs, but then also keep in mind there's a big, huge line of resistance here in terms of the tree line. Now, BIDU could consolidate and keep on going, but what we want to do here is we want to pick off the low-hanging fruit. Okay, so we've got some good profits in this, and we don't want to give those up. This is what I call the layup. This is the easy move, and we don't want to. The crime here would be to get greedy and say, well, I want to sell it up here when this is a perfectly good profit, and then have it come down and stop us out. So what do? All right, so let's manage this trade. So this is just a screenshot here where you can see time and sales. So the options, time and sales. Here is options, time and sales, and then here's you can see the bid ask. We're at 10.15 bid, 10.40 ask. And then let's come over here and let's see. Well, okay, that's going to be difficult to do. I was going to try to bring up a chart here as well. Hold on just a second. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is just kind of put together, this is like a 1-minute chart, and you can see that today BIDU had a nice, well, first of all, it started off, well, actually, here, let's back up here. This is a little impromptu, obviously. So the way BIDU started off, and you can see from where we got in to this trade, it's essentially been steadily moving higher, right? And this morning, it sold off initially, okay, held support in terms of a trend line, and now has been rallying. You can see it's at the top of this channel. So not only is it near that tree line, but it's at the top of this channel. Like, what else are we waiting for here? Okay, so let's take some off the table. So what I wanted to do now is just kind of drill down so we can see the price. I just want to see the price action. Is the stock, is it falling as we're trying to sell our options here? I mean, right now the market's kind of quiet. All right, so we should at least be able to see a little bit of the price action here. And I'll just move this about right there. Okay, so there we go. So obviously as the stock goes up, then we'll be able to sell our options for more money. And at this point, I want to, so the bid is 10.20 and the ask is 10.40. Okay, if I wanted to get out right now, I could sell at the bid. If I want to be a little patient, I could put at the ask, or I could split the difference. The real difference here is going to be, is the stock pushing higher or not? If the stock starts pushing higher, we're going to get it at the ask. If it starts pushing lower, then everything is going to fall. There, you see, we just fell to 10.15. And as I'm doing this, the ticks are actually kind of falling apart. Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh, panic time. So, and of course, if you look at a 1-minute chart, you're always going to freak out. So, but the main thing that I'm conscious of is that we are in a zone where I want to take some profits. So let me see if I can get out at $10.25. So we can see the time and sales here. And let me bring back this chart. And the stock market's actually selling off pretty hard right here. It's, ticks are coming down and stuff like that too. BIDU is actually holding up pretty well, considering. Look at this, though. Here, let's bring this up here where we can see it. So it's tanking. What do? Do we panic? So now I got to come down here, find the bid ask. Awesome. So this is great. I was hoping it would rally into my orders, right? But obviously that's not happening. So the bid has dropped to 9.90. I could have gotten out at 10.20, but I was kind of, screwing around there a little bit. So what do we do here? Well, I don't want this to like fall $2. So now I'm going to have to suck it up a little bit. Let me see if I can get out at 10 bucks. Okay, there. I think I just got, yeah, so there I got filled. Okay, 10 bucks. All right, so I was hoping actually for about $10.50 or so, but you know, this is what the market's kind of doing right now. It's great. We're making money on this trade. We got in on this trade when BIDU was like at $200.50 or something like that. But this is a little disappointing because I wanted BIDU to go higher so I could get a better price. But of course, what we want, the market could care less what we want, right? The market. It is what it is. So let's try this. I want to continue to kind of lighten up my position here. I was hoping for 1050, 1075, but I'm looking at the ticks. The market is actually selling off here. I mean, the NASDAQ was up 30 some odd points. Now it's up 15. I mean, it's like getting clobbered here. All right, so look at this. All right, gosh, let me see if I can get some more off at 10 here. Oh, so now look at that. As it's coming down, now I'm the ask. Okay, now I'm the ask. Let's see if I can get out at 990. Okay, I got out at 990. Market at 990. That's fine. I've just got a little bit more of the position left. I'm going to try to sit on 10 bucks there, see if I can get filled. Okay, BIDU's coming back here a little bit. But it's having a hard time. I mean, you guys can't see it right now, but the market's actually having a hard time right here. So anyway, so the whole idea with this is that I'm going to work, as I'm working that order, let me move this out of the way. So the whole idea with this is that, you know, when you're in a trade and you get up to your target, in this case it was near this 205.92 level, it's nice if it just slams into it and keeps on going. That makes life easy. But oftentimes it's going to come up and it's going to hesitate, and that may be it. And when you own options, because options are a depreciating asset, the whole idea is that the advantage of buying options is to own them during these little spurts, okay? But once it starts going sideways again, you actually lose your edge. Not only do you lose intrinsic value, but you're losing premium, okay? So on something like this, you set it up where you have a put credit spread, you buy some calls. When it gets near a target, dump the calls, okay? And then you can hang on to the put credit spread. But you can see right now that stock continues to come down. So I am going to have to come up here again. And I could be patient and see if I could, you know, I'm still trying to get 10 bucks here, but I'm kind of wrestling with my own, you know, human emotional fears here of like, I got this great trade and the market's selling off. What happens if suddenly now we're at 8 bid and I just left all this money on the table when we're already close enough to our target, right? So, you know, I was hoping to get a little bit higher price. I'm not. That's fine. Let me bring this down. Let me see if I can get 990 again. Okay, 990. So 990 is in play. That's fine. And I'm out of that. Okay, so it was a nice trade to the long side. The market is, I always like to say, is like, look, you can make a lot of money trading by not being perfect. To me, a perfect trade here would have been, you know, we just slam up in here. I'm able to sell my options for $10.75 or 11 bucks. That wasn't the case. Some sell programs hit, made me a little nervous. You can see here's the ticks right here. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not like, I mean, we know we got 1,000 ticks. That's serious. And so at this point, you know, I do not want to be dick for tick. I want to get out of this trade. All right. So anyway, hopefully that was semi-interesting and useful. Okay. So one of the questions that we're getting is, hey, we saw the webinar last week on the stock class you're doing Saturday. What is it about? So it's a couple different things. A big part of it is a specific system for finding this kind of stuff. And I say dismiss because this is based on hedge fund demand. So here's a stock, CRVL. It goes from $5.44 to $24.69 in 1 year. If you put $1,000 into it, it's now worth $4,500 bucks, right? So the idea is, how do you recognize, and it's not a squeeze because, you know, when it's a $5 stock, the squeezes aren't as critical. They're good, but there's other factors that come in. But what we're looking for is a stock that can get pushed through 10 bucks, because at that point, that's when the hedge fund demand starts. Okay, we're just trying to get in on that early. Another example of that is EBS went from 464 to 27 in a year. Same thing here. Once it got through 10 bucks, it just took off. Okay, hedge fund demand. Put $1,000 into it. Now it's $5,800. So this is actually great for smaller accounts. You don't have to sit there and watch the market all day. SCSS, 19 cents to 35.60 in 3 years. $1,000 invested is now $187,000. Okay, so So the idea with this, and this is actually a common pattern like this, when you have these stocks like this. Now, this is rare. It's very rare that you find like 19 cents. You're really looking more like for $5. But sometimes these will trigger, and it's the same thing. It's that first. There's that first fight to $10, okay, and then the next fight is once it gets through $10. That's typically when the big gains come. And so the idea with this is that when I show people this, it's like, okay, well, you might be thinking, yep, okay, that's pure luck, and it would never happen to me. Or only hedge funds would know to stick with a stock like that, or that would be impossible to find. It would be impossible to know when to get out, and these types of moves never happen anymore. Okay, and that's fair. The other way to look at this, though, is just kind of think, hopefully you might also think, well, maybe that would be possible with the right approach. Maybe if I do just a little bit of what the hedge funds are doing, I can bring in a little bit of what they're bringing in. Or maybe it's worth it for me to at least be open-minded to see how they do this, right? So the idea with this is it's actually deceptively simple, okay? So this is the process. Out of the 197 industries, you find the top 10 industries for growth. This rotates typically once a quarter. Then we narrow the young company growth stocks within those top 10 industries. From there, we get the highest relative strength stocks early, get into those early. And then on number 4, we monitor hedge fund activity and footprints as they, with their superior information, because they're going to have way better information than we are about the pipelines of that company and future orders and things like that, we move into the next big thing with conviction. And finally, we activate alerts to let you know when to get in and when to get out. So the idea with this is that even though it's simple, it's not easy, okay? There are, of course, a lot of details that you have to know to make this work for you, but overall, the idea is that that makes sense, right? So the class I'm going to be doing on Saturday, and you can go here, you can sign up, you type this link into your browser, simplerstocks.com/blueprint. It'll also redirect, and you can also call us at the office, 512-266-8659, and you can also email support@simplerstocks.com. And there's essentially 2 classes. There's a Saturday class, okay, and then there's an upgrade for more of a mentoring type live trading environment, okay? So the Saturday class is coming up, so you want to block this date, Saturday, June 6, 2015, from 2 to 6 East Coast time, okay? Now, if you can't make it, that's fine. It'll be recorded. Now, if you want to kind of turbocharge this process, there's an additional 3 full trading days online, and that's June 9th, June 11th, and June 12th. Okay. Now, a 3-day mentorship normally costs $5,000, but we're packaging this up so that a person with a small account could actually do the upgraded portion of this as well. Now, with kind of the turbocharged mentoring, there's 2 bonuses that come with that. First, there's 2 free years to the Simpler Stocks Growth Scanner. Okay, this is a new scanner. It's going to be released with this class. It's going to be $47 a month. So over 2 years, that's $1,128. But this is the scanner we put together to kind of take a lot of the work out of finding these stocks. Now, this is different than the current scanner. The current scanner we have is more for finding like, oh, there's a squeeze on Netflix, right? This is for finding when hedge funds are actually getting into these smaller stocks. And then bonus number 2 is that once you get through the class, you actually have a credit for a 20-minute one-on-one coaching follow-up, okay, just to make sure that you fully understand everything. So if you go to simplerstocks.com/blueprint, it'll take you to this page. So the Saturday class is just $297, okay, and then the 3 days of mentoring is $997. Now that includes bonus number 1 and bonus number 2, and it actually also includes the Saturday class, okay? And you can just go to the page and look at it. This to me is a no-brainer. This is a new thing that you're going to learn that you've not seen before. And then this, you could if you like, okay, that's a great idea, I want to do it. That one's up to you. But we're also going to be doing things here that we're not doing on Saturday. For example, managing positions, also using options, doing no-cost callers, covered calls, how essentially, how to acquire how to acquire stock cheaper using puts, okay, different things like that. But it's focused on stocks, but during the live trading, we're going to use options to kind of enhance those stock techniques, okay? So all good stuff there. This is going to be a great class, and looking forward to seeing you there.